Good morning, my friends. It's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis, where I am journeying through my 40s, working oh so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I am working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today is Friday, March the 21st, and I am going to be working on my financial health. We are going to be budgeting out the money you see above my head over here, $1,053.63, and we're going to be doing that in the app you see surrounding me. This app is called YNAB, which is short for You Need a Budget. I also am working actively on my physical health again. Finally, I did take a little bit of a hiatus from that, but I did post just last week a physical health vlog, and I will link that video in the cards, which I believe will pop up over here somewhere. And then I'll also make sure that is the video that pops up for you at the end of this one. And then I am actively filming this week's vlog, and that should come out on Sunday, I think is the plan. Y'all, vlogs are hard. They're brand new to me, and so I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. But my mental health, I haven't posted a video on that in a while. But if you watched last week's video and if you saw this morning's thumbnail, which you clicked on the video, so I'm sure you did, I just got a new puppy, which, while for my physical health has not been very great because I'm exhausted, for my mental health has done wonders. I feel like a brand new person. I haven't felt this great in a very long time. I'm so happy. I love him. He is amazing. Not that I don't love Chad and Tyler, who is my previous cat and dog. My dog is Chad and my cat is Tyler. I love them, but this puppy is just, there's nothing like a puppy and a baby, which my nephew had a baby, and then, his wife, and then we adopted a puppy. Things are looking better in Becky's world right now, y'all, which is fantastic, and I needed it. So my physical health, getting back on track. My mental health, getting back on track. And my financial health never really did get off track, but we're working on getting it even more on track than it was. We are paying off aggressively this American Express, which you will see. The Citi card does have a balance on it because I decided it's a zero interest card, and I put my premium, y'all, every single week I can't remember the word. Insurance. I put my 6-month insurance policy on it, and then I did decide to go ahead and put my mom's 6-month insurance policy on it. It is a 21-month no interest card, and instead of paying the premium that they charge you every month for making installment payments on your insurance, I just put it all on there, and then I'm paying it off $150 every month, which is more than I would have been paying on the insurance. But at least this way I can pay it off before I would have paid off the insurance, and I can save up the balance. And then when it's time for the next 6-month installment, I will have the money saved. That's my plan. So I have already made both mine and my mom's insurance where I was budgeting the money every month. I've made them 6-month plans, so they're down in my sinking fund area now with goals for 6-monthly budgets. But we'll see that when I shrink. There is a red elephant in the room up here somewhere. Oh my goodness. Anyway, my pointing is off. Did I mention I'm tired? There are 2 overspends. Neither of those is really overspent. They're just, one is a scheduled transaction for an auto payment that hit today. And since I haven't actually filled that category because it's a today payment, it's showing as overspend, but we're going to fill that in a second. And the other one is it's budgeted, it's just not categorized. My bestie texted me last night and sent me a picture of this chair that I will insert a picture of, hopefully. Becky, put the picture here. That somebody in her, I guess it was a Facebook group, I don't know, her neighborhood, she finds the coolest things that people are selling or giving away. And somebody posted a picture of this chair, and they were like, hey, anybody have an Ellie? This chair is in fantastic condition. It just needs to be washed. $10, come and get it. And she sent it to me, and she's like, do you want this for Ellie? And I was like, yes, I want this for Ellie. So I Venmo'd her the $10 for it last night. She paid the person, and she's going to go pick it up for me today. And then I'm just going to hang on to it. And I have part of Ellie's Christmas present. It's only $10. So I'm going to categorize this as holiday giving. This is why I budget all year round for Christmas, because now I've already budgeted my Christmas giving. So I got a Christmas present already for Ellie. She's like 3 weeks old. She's already got a Christmas present. I'm gonna wash the cover of the chair. I'm gonna set this aside at Christmas time. Ellie's already got a gift. I'm also going to the Ren Fair this weekend, and I will probably pick out some gifts. I did this last year when I went to the Ren Fair. I got some little, so my family is Welsh, and they had some handmade wooden, like the Welsh dragons, and they were like wooden toys with the wheels that roll. Obviously that's what wheels do. I picked one up, a bigger one for Joe, who's the older boy, and a smaller one for Jet, who's the younger boy. And they loved them. I picked them up at the Ren Fair, which is like this time. I think I went in April last year. And I saved them all the way till Christmas. I gave it to them at Christmas time. They loved them. They were both red. I'm pretty sure I don't have a picture of them, but I'll try to find a picture of what the Welsh dragon looks like. They looked like this. They were just made of wood, and they were like obviously 3D, and they had wheels on them, and they loved them. I love finding one of a kind gifts for people. I picked up, my nephew has been wanting those wooden mugs. If you've ever been to a Ren Fair, they have those wooden, like handmade wooden cups that everybody walks around with. He's been wanting one. I picked him up one when I was at the Ren Fair last year. I gave it to him at Christmas time. I like to be able to pick things up as I see them. So I budget throughout the year for my holiday giving. And then when I see things, I can buy them, I can save them, and give them at holiday time. So, like I said, that was a really long-winded explanation. Hi, I'm Becky. I talk a lot. Of these categories are not actually overspent. I just have to budget. I have to like fill them. Also, if you were here last week, and the week before, I've done some moving around. So I didn't really do I didn't do a fresh start. And I was looking, like, you know how YouTube recommends videos for you, and they're like, hey, watch this video. YouTube recommended my video from last year to myself, which I'm not mad. I watched it. It was a fresh start. Apparently, March is the time Becky does fresh starts. I guess it's spring. It makes sense to me in my brain. I don't do it consciously, but when I sat and thought about it, I was like, oh, it's springtime. It's time for a fresh start. That makes sense to me. And I actually remember somebody commenting and going, oh, that's so, like, our brains are so different, because my brain would be like, oh no, I can't do a fresh start until January. And my brain was like, well, I need to do a fresh start. I'm going to do a fresh start. Anyway, I didn't do a fresh start this last week, but at some point during the week, I was sitting down and I was like, I have so much money in categories, like my dining out and my groceries, that I'm not using, that's just sitting there not being used, and I need to make sure I have enough money to pay off my Amex by May. I have to pay it off by May. I need to make sure I have enough money to cover all of Charlie, who's my new puppy. I have to make sure I can cover all of his expenses. I need to make sure I have money to cover all of these things, and yet I have all this money just sitting in dining out. And at the end of the month, I was planning to move it, but I was like, why am I going to wait till the end of the month? I need to do this now. I need to, for my brain, because I did sit down and get my April, like start working on my April budget. And I was like, I need to make sure this is going to work out. So I did the reset available balances. And I loved it. And I did work it out. I made a couple of boo-boos, so I'm probably going to have to go back and like tweak it, where I thought I had put money in one category and then somehow I undid it and it didn't end up, so I had to go cover it later. But what I did is I funded half of my American Express, and we'll get to this when I get there. I funded half of what I needed to fund for my American Express for this month. And then at the end of the month, with whatever's left over at the end of the month after I get, because I still have one more paycheck this month. It's not this week, it's next week. But at the end of the month, I'm going to fill, hopefully I'll be able to fill whatever I still need to make the balance. Because if you're not familiar with YNAB, welcome. Are you in for a treat? Because man, I love YNAB. But what it does is it tells you how much, you tell it what, like, your goals, and it will tell you how much you have to fund to reach those goals. So it tells me how much I need to pay every single month in order to pay my card off by May. And so I was like, fund half of that. Here's what I need to do. And so I should be able to fill it the rest of the way by the end of the month to meet my goal for the month of March. But then my mom's propane did fill. which we knew was coming. So they did fill it. It's been so cold here lately. Like, it's 40 something degrees this morning. It's March in Texas and it's 40 degrees, but it's going to be 80 something degrees later on today. Hi. This is weird. Like, Texas is bipolar. Also, puppy, not sleeping. Had time to go get coffee this morning. Anyway, words. So when you see everything looks like much like the balances are much smaller than they were last week, that is not because I just went and did a whole bunch of shopping. It is because I did a reset and then I didn't fill everything back to where it was. I did leave myself a small balance in dining out and a small balance in groceries in case I had to go like make an emergency run and pick up something at the grocery store, or like I said, I'm not sleeping very well in case I did decide I was just too exhausted to cook something and I decided to go get Chipotle again like I did last week. Thankfully, I did not. I did only eat out once. Nathan and I went and got Chinese food last Friday night, and that is it. I only ate out that once. And then I didn't even eat after church because I didn't go to church because I was too tired, so I zoomed into church. So I didn't use my church money. I redistributed that amongst when I did the reset. I just took the money out of ecclesial. I didn't use my ecclesial funding this week. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to shrink myself up into the corner and we will get started. So here's my budget. Sorry I say budget weird. I think it's from Parks and Rec. It's like Tom Hatherford or whatever his name is. He says it weird. So if you have in YNAB, if you have an uncategorized transaction, it's going to show up here. So the very first thing you see is this giant red overspent thing. So I'm going to click on this, and this is going to take me to my 2 overspent categories. The first one is uncategorized. It's going to say, hey, you overspent this. Where do you want to... Why can't I click on it? Let me categorize you. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with this one because for some reason I'm going to give this one $80. Mattress Firm is, I pay this every month. I want to select a category. Okay, y'all, I never have uncategorized stuff, so how do I categorize this? I'm just going to go into Venmo and categorize it like I normally do. So I'm going to give this a category, and I'm going to assign it the category of holiday giving, because that is what it is. I'm going to give this to her for the holidays. And now it is no longer uncategorized, and since I have available funds in that category, it is now not overspent. So we are good. And I'm going to go back to my budget, which is behind me. And everything is cleared. I am good to go. And because I did assign money, my available balance went down. I took $80 out of here, and I assigned it to my credit card. Mattress Firm. I assigned it to Mattress Firm. So if you're not familiar with me, what I do is I pre-plan my monthly budget in the Budget by Paycheck book, and then every Friday, I am paid bi-weekly. So I plan this out ahead of time so I know exactly what I need every single week. And then every Friday, I budget what I need for the week into here. And I do that so that these categories, why am I saying categories weird? These categories up here, I only give myself what I need for the week and I don't overspend. When I first started doing this, I was trying to budget both weeks at the same time. I was only budgeting my paycheck. So I got a paycheck and I budgeted out both weeks at the same time. And I give myself $50 a week for dining out. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to put $50 in here. I'm going to say plus $50. But I think Charlie just came over here. I would give myself $100 because it was for 2 weeks. And I found that if I put $100 in there, come here, baby. If I put $100 in there, then I would spend that whole $100 in like the first weekend. And then I would have the whole next 2 weeks to go with no money in my dining out category. And I would be miserable because I wanted to go out with my friends, or I wanted to go out for like grab a quick bite to eat. And I didn't have any money available. But just for my brain, I found that if I divided that exact same amount of money into 2 weeks, it lasted me 2 weeks. So I've started budgeting every 2 weeks instead, and it works much better for me. Groceries, I give myself $125 every 2 weeks, so I'm going to do plus 125. Ecclesial expenses, this is my church donation. As you can see, I did take that $80 out, so I'm going to give myself $80 for this week. Coffee, I've already put my $25 in here for this week because I did go get coffee this morning. So this $25, I've already funded it. I didn't record the transaction, but I did fund it. The key to YNAB and using YNAB successfully is to try to fund ahead of time. Don't retroactively fund what you're doing, which is, I didn't retroactively fund what I was just doing. Because I did actually know I had the money. I just forgot to categorize it when I put it in there. Because I have my Venmo linked. Come here, baby. Come here. Try. Oh, he's coming up to my feet, but then he's going over and laying down on his like little pad. Because this is my work desk. My work computer is right behind my laptop. So I have my work laptop and my work screens. And then I set my personal computer up here to record these videos. But so I have a little like area for him set up right here where he can lay down while I work. So he keeps coming over here to lay down. But he doesn't want to, he like walks over to my feet, like does a drive-by, like rub on my feet, and then goes and lays down. But he won't come over here so I can hold him. Anyway, sorry. Charlie side note. If you're new, Charlie's my new puppy that I just adopted last Tuesday. And he's adorable. And his little ears keep flopping over, and they're so cute. And I might be obsessed with his ears. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, don't retroactively. I mean, if you don't fund ahead of time, obviously, then go retroactively do it. Don't not do it. But if you can, if you know you're going to be spending, try to find the money in your budget before you go spend it. So I knew I was going down to Dutch Brothers this morning, so I went ahead and funded my Dutch Brothers category before I went. So I added the $25 to my Dutch Brothers account. I went and picked up my coffee. But I didn't actually put it into YNAB. I use Venmo for, it's like the app is connected to you connect a card, and it's connected to my Venmo card, and so it will automatically like sync with, I'm tired. It will automatically sync with YNAB. So my Venmo app will sync, which is what happened with the transaction from last night. I did not actually enter that transaction into YNAB yet. I just sent Ginny the money last night for the chair, and then it synced into YNAB this morning, and it didn't have a category because I didn't actually manually enter that yet. Anyway, whole long story for that. Fun money, I did give myself when I did my reset, I did give myself some extra fun money because I am going to the Renaissance Fair tomorrow. I did already pay for my ticket. We bought them. If you're in the Central Texas area, I know I've been saying this like every week lately, but if you're in the Central Texas area and you are planning to head out to the Sherwood Forest Fair, Costco has discounted tickets. So when we went Costco shopping last weekend, we picked up a 2-pack. Well, it's like one thing, but it's a 2-pack of tickets. Nathan and I split the cost. So I've already paid for my ticket. But I put a little extra money in here because when I dine out at a place like a movie theater, if I'm at a movie theater or the fair, I consider food at that place part of my fun money and not part of my dining out. So I did give myself a little bit of extra money in here to cover the cost of that because food at places like that is ridiculously expensive. So I'm going to put an extra $15 because $15 is what I allow myself every week for fun money. So now I have $40. I'm going to probably go draw that out in cash either this evening or tomorrow morning before we leave because the vendors there prefer cash because, they have to pay for that. So I will have $40 to take with me in cash to the fair tomorrow to pay for my food. It's really, really, really hard to find a place that is gluten-free for celiac friendly. Like you can find gluten-free, but a lot of it's cross-contaminated. So really the only thing I can eat there are like the turkey legs. And that's it. And those are like $20. Because everything else, like even the steak on a stick, they cook those on the same grill as they cook the falafels, which are not gluten-free, or like the crepes, I mean, not the falafels. Those are not gluten-free. So it's all like the steak is 100% gluten-free, but it's on the same grill as the crepes. And the last time I ate them, I wasn't even thinking, and I got sick because cross-contamination. When you have celiac, as opposed to just, and I don't mean just, because I know that a lot of people feel significantly better when they eat gluten-free, and then when they eat gluten, they get sick, but they don't get sick from cross-contamination. When you have celiac, cross-contamination makes you very sick. So I was at the fair, and I got sick, which is not a good thing to do when you're at the fair, because they have porta potties. And they do have some nice potties, but it's not fun. I'm just going to say that. It's not fun to be celiac sick out at Sherwood Forest. So I have to be very careful. Anyway, y'all did not need to know that. But if you have celiac, if you have celiac and you go to Sherwood or you go to a Ren fair and you have tips on what you can eat safely, please let me know. And I mean meat. Like, I know I could probably eat a potato, but I want meat. Okay. It is not a paycheck week, so I'm not going to fill my gas or my self-care. I am going to put a little bit of extra pet expenses because I took Charlie to the vet last night. Yesterday afternoon, he had his very first vet visit, and it was $72, but Nathan and I are splitting that, so my part is going to be $31, right? $32. I don't know. I'm going to put $30 in here because I already have $4 in here. So I'm adding $30 in here. So now that will cover his vet visit. And then next week is actually when I fill my pet expenses for the month of April. So I'll be good for pet expenses. He has a giant bag of food. I covered that out of groceries. As you can see, I reset everything after I went grocery shopping last weekend. I went grocery shopping, we went to Costco, and we went to H-E-B and bought everything we needed. So we bought a giant bag of dog food for him. We already had dog food for Chad, and we already had cat food for Tyler. Bought a giant box of puppy pads because those were going through like water. Y'all, he's doing so well with training. Like, we had an entire day Wednesday with not a single accident, not one accident. Yesterday it was like 99% accident free. He's doing so well. He's learning to go to the back door when he needs to go potty. He's really doing super well. I mean, he's so smart, and I'm so proud of him. He's only 10 weeks old, so that's good. And he's only been in this house for a week, and we don't have doggy doors, so I'm very proud of him. And I think Chad has a lot to do with it. Like, I've heard that older dogs train younger dogs, so I don't know. It's been a long time because Chad is almost 9, so it's been a long time since I've had a puppy. I knew it was a lot of work. I did remember that, but I don't remember any of the details. Anyway, I'm not filling any of the rest of these. The rest of these are all monthly or paycheckly fills. So what I need to fill now are my bills. Yeah, dining out, groceries, fun, coffee, and ecclesial. That's all I fill. So my bills, the bills that I am covering are the ones that go from today, the 21st, through next Thursday. Next Thursday is the 27th. So I am going to fill all of the bills from the 21st through the 27th. Now, I already filled Mattress Firm. I'm going to snooze this because we filled the actual Mattress Firm down at the bottom. What I have here is a reminder category because Mattress Firm is an actual credit card. It is not a, what is, I'm confused. Okay. A credit card's down here, which is where, where is it? Are they closed? Credit cards are down here. And because they're down here in a separate category, I was forgetting to fill them. I'd write them down here. So I was actually including them in my budget, but when I was recording these videos, I would forget to fill them. Then I would get to the end of the week, the end of the budget, and I'd be like, why do I have extra money? I don't know where this extra money goes. And I'd confuse myself, but I'd have to go to work, and so I'd end the video, and then in the editing process, I'd be like, oh, that was my Mattress Firm payment. Oh, that was my Best Buy payment. I forgot to budget that in here. So actually a couple of people suggested that I put a category up here so that I would remember to budget it and then snooze the category and move the money down here. That's what these duplicate categories up here are. So because we directly budgeted this money into the actual credit card payment section, I'm not going to budget it up here. My internet did go up. It's been $65.48 for like literally 5, 6, 7 years. So it went up only by like $15, and they did increase our speed to like a gig now or whatever. I can't complain. Everything has gone up, and the fact that it's been forever and have had the same rate, I can't complain. It wasn't a big increase. Even my T-Mobile, which we were grandfathered into like the old school $20 a line, they even increased that to $25 a line. Like even T-Mobile increased our line. So everything has gone up. So this is now $80.55 a month. Cinemark, I actually considered canceling this because I just haven't seen any movies at all that I was interested in watching. Enough interested in seeing in a theater. Like, they were playing movies and I'm like, I could watch that. But there weren't very many that I was like, I am willing to go to a theater to see that. And so I like looked through all the upcoming movies for the next couple of months because I'm like, summertime is when movies come out. And I did find a handful that I'm like, I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that. My problem is I don't hear about the ones I want to see until after they're out of the theater. So I went through, I looked, I flagged them so that like my Cinemark app will send me a reminder. So hopefully I will remember to go watch movies. If it gets to be like August and I still haven't gone to watch a movie, I'm canceling this. Because while I do think it is an excellent deal, if I'm not using it, it's not a good deal. I do have 2 credits available right now, so either I can go see 2 movies or I can use it for me and Nathan to go watch a movie. I do still get 20% off of all of my concessions. I don't pay any online fees. I think it's a fantastic deal. But if I'm not using it, it's not worth it. My water bill, I know exactly how much this is. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to pause this and see if I can figure out what my water bill actually is. I thought I had already figured this out. I think it's one of... Did I already put this in? Hang on. Where's my money? Splitwise. I don't want to look at Splitwise. I'm going to look on my app because I'm pretty sure I already figured this out and put it into Splitwise. I did not. Ay vey. So how are y'all? Are you doing anything fun this weekend? Anybody else going out to the fair? I am meeting my old neighbors who used to live 2 doors down, and they moved out to the lake during like all of the hype of like during the middle of the pandemic when all of the house prices here in the Austin area went absolutely haywire, and they were able to sell their house for like, I don't even remember the amount. Like, I didn't know the exact amount, but like it was like seriously like 3 or 4 times what they had paid for it, and buy a house on the lake for almost the exact, like maybe even a little less than what they had paid for it. And it was what they had gotten for their house. It was a crazy amount. And I went to pay my bill. And so now they live out on the lake, at a lake house, which is amazing. And sometimes we get to go out and see them and like take our kayaks out there and go hang out with them. But they wanted to go out to the fair. Pay my bill, yes. 101.14 is going to be my actual utility bill. 101.14 is my actual utility bill. Okay, that is what I need to pay. Not 120. I always budget 120 because that was one time I paid like 118 or something, but I knew it wasn't going to be that much. That's it. Now, in my budget, I also put that I was going to make my city payment because for some reason I have that city is due on the 27th. But here, this is what I was saying, I was confused. Here, I have that city is due on the 1st. But I'm going to go ahead and fund it. Because this is the card that I put mine and my mom's progressive bills onto. So I'm trying to make this payment, like pay it off as if I were making progressive car insurance payments Look at me knowing the word for car insurance without having to stop and think about it. I'm trying to make this as if I were making monthly car insurance payments. But I don't know if it's due on the 1st or the 27th, so I'm just going to fund it, make this payment. It's not going to hurt me to pay it on the 27th if it's due on the 1st. It's an auto payment, so it's funded now. I don't know when it's going to come out. And American Express, you can see I did do the fund half. I took like $150 out. And then I did do an auto reimbursement for myself off of my HSA for one of my medications that I had paid for with this card. So right now it is funded $852.27. I need, where is my, oh, it's saying I'm funded to, oh no, that's that one. I need to fund another $391.98 to pay it off by May. I have, as of right now, with my budget, as long as everything goes according to plan, which it doesn't always, but as long as everything goes according to plan, I will have more than that available at the end of the month. So I should be able to pay this card off by the end of the month. Not pay this card off, but be on track to pay this card off by the time it's before the interest accrues. So we should be good. I am going to make this payment, and then at the end of the month, I'll make the additional payment. We should be good. We shall see. So for right now, I have $335.46 left. This is a zero-based budgeting system. Like I said, I am paid bi-weekly. I budget weekly. I am going to roll this money into next week, and I am going to do that by assigning this money to be my next week's budget. So I am going to do that by assigning it to my next week category. I'm going to add $335.46 to here, and now all of my money is assigned. I have nothing left to assign. When you come back next week, I will have a paycheck. I may or may not have a YouTube check. I am anticipating a YouTube check. I did earn enough, thanks to y'all, amazing, awesome people, to receive a YouTube check this month. And they do deposit on the 21st. I just don't know if it will be here at like 7 a.m. or if it will be here in the afternoon. I don't know what time it will be here. So I don't know if it will be here when I am filming this video or if it will arrive later. But I will have my paycheck and then this $335. So all of that money will be up here to be assigned when you come back next week. That is all I have to say this week, except if you want to try out this app, if this looks interesting, like it will be helpful to you, there's always a link in my description box below for you to try it out for 34 days completely risk-free. Go ahead and click that, try it out. If you don't like it, just stop signing in. They don't charge you. If you do like it, sign up for it. You'll get an additional 30 days for free. So will I, and everybody has a budget. Y'all, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Don't forget to look out for my health check-in vlog, and don't forget to like, maybe subscribe. And I love y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay. Hey guys. I was just editing this video and I realized that today is the 21st and I did get paid from YouTube. So I have my money. It's not a ton, but I appreciate every single penny. So I am going to quickly just budget this out. And the only thing that I am intending to do with this, and then I also realized that I didn't explain when I did my realignment of my money, I did put the money back into my emergency fund that I had taken out. So it is exactly back where it was. It is not reaching the goal that I set, but it will be after I have reached my Amex. So my goal right now is I'm just adding $50 every month. And then after my Amex is paid off, I will make sure that I am putting enough in there to reach another $1,000 by the end of the year. But right now I am just consistently putting $50 in a month. So when I added everything back up, I did make sure that I put it to be where it was exactly. So it's exactly where it was before I took the money out to cover the cost of adopting Charlie. Everything is back where it was. And then, so I don't have to put this money into the emergency fund, which is what I had said last week I was going to do with it. I'm going to do what my original plan was, and I'm going to put this money into my Amex payoff. So this money is going to go, all of it, 100% into American Express. 118, oh my goodness, 11881. Done. That's it. Okay, guys,
I'm going to go back to work, finish eating my lunch, and go let my dogs in because they're outside right now. So I am done, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye. I don't know how to pause. I never use this keyboard. Okay, bye.